Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We are back again with another channel update. First and foremost, let me say I apologize. I don't have my hair cut right now. Usually I'm supposed to be presentable for these channel updates. But as you all know, I had COVID last week, kind of been locked in the house. I feel much better, but I actually have not been able to make it to a clinic yet to get a negative test. So until I have that, I don't want to be around anybody. I for damn sure don't want to get my barber infected. So I've been in the house. Please forgive me. 7K. Appreciate all of the support for the content I was doing. I'll be honest, I didn't expect King Arthur to be a hit the way it has been, but it's obvious you all are really enjoying the videos that are coming out, and I'm really, really happy about that. Welcome to all of the new subscribers. Hope you all feel welcomed here. Hope you all haven't been enjoying all the rest of the content that you've been seeing, and I'm looking forward to providing you more content in the future. Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about what this channel is going to be doing over the next couple of months. So I have started a Tyrant Old Faith playthrough for King Arthur. So my intention is to create videos for just about all of the party members that you can get. The only ones I'll be missing are party members where you have to be Old Faith Righteous and Christian Tyrant. I have it in me. I'm pretty sure I have it in me to finish this second playthrough, but I just don't have it in me to do 4 playthroughs right now. So those couple of party members that are in those squares, I'm sure there's other content creators for the game out there. Hopefully somebody else will break those down. But everybody else, I'm pretty sure I should be able to go ahead and do content for you. In the midst of that, I want to play games that are going to get me in that mode for the lead up to Swan Song. So the next game I'm going to review is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I was actually already halfway through my playthrough when King Arthur, when I got a code for King Arthur. So once I finish with this second playthrough, I'm jumping right back into Bloodlines. I'll probably do an impressions video just to give you my general thoughts, but I want to get a review out for that game most certainly. And then hopefully if there's time, I also plan to do, sorry, I'm on my lunch break right now, so that's my work computer going out, and I am on call, so I can't just mute it. I want to do a playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade Covenant as well and review that game since it's in that same overall universe. I've asked the developer for Swan Song about getting a review code, but I'm not sure yet if they're going to give me one. If I get a review code, I probably won't have enough time to play Covenant, but if I don't, then I'll play it. Either way, I'll play it before or after Swan Song and get that review out. But those are the next couple of games that I want to play in the lead up to Swan Song. And then I don't know how much content I'll do for the game. Depends on how much I like it, how much you all like it. But whenever I'm through with that run, the next game, I figure we might as well just play Vampire. Since we're in this vampire mindset anyway, a bunch of you have said that you really enjoyed that game as well. So let's go ahead and get that out the way. And then for the foreseeable future, I want to bounce around to the games that are going to help us lead up to the huge releases coming out at the end of the year and the beginning of next year. So in my mind, the big releases are Starfield, Baldur's Gate 3, and Avowed. So I want to play the Baldur's Gate games. I want to play all of Obsidian's catalog. So Fallout New Vegas, Knights of the Republic 2, Outer Worlds, and of course both Pillars of Eternity games. And then I plan to play most of the Bethesda games. So Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Skyrim. I might try out Morrowind and Oblivion. But I've tried out both of them before, and the graphics were just too old for me. In fact, I'm definitely not going to do Oblivion because I know they have that whole remake that they're doing of the Oblivion game world, and I'll probably see if I can just jump into that and if it'll be updated enough where I can tolerate it. But Morrowind, I'll give it a shot to see if I can get through it, because I know there are people who go crazy about Morrowind and say it's still the best Elder Scrolls game. But when I tried to play it, and granted, I only did it for like 15, 20 minutes, the graphics were just so old and so outdated from what I envisioned for an Elder Scrolls game that I couldn't get through it. But when I try it again, maybe I'll feel a little bit differently. But that's basically my roadmap for the next few months as far as what kind of content we're going to do. I'll probably still mix some things in there because I don't want to get burnt out playing older games. So I'll probably throw in some newer stuff. Like I still want to do Disco Elysium. I still want to do Wasteland 3. So I might throw in some different things in between, but that's really going to be my focus for the next few months. So hopefully you all are going to enjoy that content. You'll appreciate it. If there's any game that I didn't mention here that you would really like to see me cover, definitely make sure you put that down in the comments. I have a list of all the games that I want to get to over the next 2 or 3 years. So if there's something that I haven't already mentioned and you bring it up and it's not on my list, I'll definitely slide it in there. Keep in mind, I play indie games, I play small games, so it doesn't really matter what type of game you recommend as long as it's something that has a decent story. I don't play games just for combat. Like there has to be some sort of story that pulls me along. But as long as it has something like that, by all means, throw it in there. More than likely, I'll be happy to play it. Want to talk a little bit as well about the change that this channel has went through. You know, this is probably a conversation I should have had earlier in the year, but of course, earlier in the year was kind of rough for me. So we didn't do the things that I really planned to do, like having, a channel anniversary video, and talk about some of the goals for the year. Like all of that should have happened already, and it just didn't because my stuff was so raggedy. So as you all have probably noticed, we do a lot of different content this year compared to last year. Last year it was all Pathfinder. Sorry, still getting over COVID a little bit. Last year was all about voice playthroughs and Pathfinder. Loved that time, loved all the support, really proud of the content that I put out during that time period. But you always have to be willing to critique yourself and figure out how things should be improved. And when I took a step back and I looked at my channel and my content, I felt like a person could easily say, your channel only exists because of Pathfinder. If this game wasn't around, your channel would serve no purpose and you really wouldn't be able to make content. And I don't know how else to put it other than I'm kind of got to the point that I'm an artist about my stuff. And when I looked at the situation that way, it grinded on my nerves, and I felt like this needed to be the year where there was more variety in my content and where I put a real focus on challenging myself and proving that no matter what the game is and no matter how large the customer base or the fans of the games, I can make quality content about everything that I play. I can find a way to entertain or educate people about whatever I decide to cover. So in this year, it's all been about playing different games, reviews, impressions, and then sometimes I'll also do builds and general content like what we're doing for King Arthur right now. And part of the reason for that as well is when I looked at how am I going to cover these different games in comparison to the way I covered Pathfinder, I found that what I did regarding Pathfinder as far as the voice acting and custom scripts where I put in my own dialogue for characters, for me personally, that only works in a game that doesn't have voice acting. And I know there are other content creators who can take a game that has voice acting and just pull it out, put their own voices in, and it's perfectly fine. But for me personally, it just doesn't feel right. You know, like having a Mass Effect game where it's not Shepard's voice, like it doesn't creatively, it just doesn't feel right for me. And it's just not something that I can do. So to make that type of content, I really need a game where there is little to no voice acting. So I feel like I have the complete freedom to put in whatever kind of voice acting I want to. And so, of course, that doesn't work when you're touching a lot of different games or reviewing a lot of different games, because most of these games have voice acting. And so that's why you've seen such a change from the type of content that we used to make, because this format is much more comfortable for me when I'm playing a larger variety of games. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to completely walk away from what we've been doing last year. In fact, I absolutely plan to play a lot of older games later on down the line, as we've already talked about. And it's completely possible during that time that I might say, you know what, this is a really interesting section right here. I can make my own story out of this and put some voice acting into it. And I bet you it'll be compelling for my community. So it's not that we're never going to do that type of content. It's just that it's going to be more rare than what we used to because of where the channel is now. And finally, I do want to make sure that it's known. You know, I put out that video about me getting burnt out when it comes to playthroughs and not really feeling like it was healthy for me to continue with that. I want to make sure it's known that that's actually done a lot for me, that I'm sleeping better. I definitely feel like I'm healthier, and that the manner in which I'm delivering my content fits much better into my overall life than trying to do those playthrough episodes every day. At the same time, I definitely miss doing playthroughs with you all. And so that's something I am absolutely going to implement back into the content, more than likely through live streaming, where we'll do it like 2, maybe 3 times a week. But it's probably never going to be a core part of my channel. And I say that because I don't think I'll ever be the type of guy, or at least not in the near future, the type of guy who will be able to stream on a set schedule. And I think that's really a requirement in order to be able to stream well. People have to know when to expect you, and you have to be consistent about that. Whereas with the stuff I have going on, wife, kid, job, etc., I never know when I'm going to have 2 to 4 hours to sit down and play a game live. So it'll probably just be, oh, you know, it's a Tuesday and wife turned in early. You know what? I can go ahead and turn on the camera. Let's get some playtime in. And then those of you who want to join and are able to join, you can pop in. So long term, definitely, I plan to start playthroughs again. But for now, I'm really enjoying feeling more peace, you know, and feeling a lot more comfortable with the pace at which I release content. Anyway, I feel like this video, holy smokes, I've been on for 14 minutes. My apologies. All right, this video has been long enough. Once again, I appreciate all of you all, appreciate the support. This has been absolutely awesome. Still love making content, still love doing YouTube, still enjoy having this community and connecting with all of you all. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Take care.